A
Hey!
very Merry Christmas. Okay, monsters, I know it's still a couple of days, but hello to everybody watching us on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and listening to us on air. Of course, you got me, you got me, you got Rico, and we got a Mr. Claus, a Father Christmas, if you will,
Hey!
joining the show. The
Hey!
setup is immaculate. I am just so
Um,
excited, Rico. Ah!
I had to bring out the fuzzy jacket because it is gonna be a very merry Christmas. We are, you know what Kanye would always say, right? Bow to the presence of greatness. I'm
Yeah.
bowing from where I'm at. Why? Because he is the first Filipino to be inducted in the Hall of Fame for the World Championship of Performing Arts, ranking him alongside renowned actor singer Liza Minnelli. This is
Wow.
how big it is, Carla. We got him live, and you know how he does it. Always grand.
He's
While
so
others have while others have Christmas trees, well, or Christmas tree, he has them both. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome on the show. Give it up for Jed Madela.
Hi, Jen.
Hello, hi, hello, Merry
Well,
Christmas.
Merry Christmas to you, Santa. I mean, okay, Mom, if you can go to your phone, your computer, wherever, facebook.com/RX931. Jed's setup. Incredible. Jed, you just made
Diba?
my day. Thank
Oh,
you.
thank
You
you,
really
thank
did.
you.
Oh my gosh.
I'm thinking.
I'm so happy to have him on the show. Before anything else, Jed, how are you? I mean, obviously you are ready with your festive fun in the background, but how have you been the past couple of months? How has lockdown
Well,
life been for Jed Madela?
well, first few months it was a huge adjustment, but now, things are getting better, and of course, since it's the season is already here, yeah, you just have to make do of what we have and keep on living. Yeah, that's what I tell everybody. Let's not be locked up in our own, shell. Let's just live, right? Especially
And
Yes.
you,
now Christmas is coming.
especially with this 2020, Jed, diba? I mean, with you performing in different stages all over the world, I'm sure you had a lot of gigs abroad as well. Now you are here. Was there anything that you discovered about yourself na parang, okay, may bago akong talent na ganito, or I'm into TikTok, or what? What did you discover about yourself?
Well, when you're used to like performing, that's the only job that I take care of. I just go on stage and I perform and that's it. During the lockdown, I realized that I could be also a tech. I could like set up
Good.
my stuff. I could set up because I don't have anybody. I only have my editor and my producer here for my vlogs here at home. And we're the ones who set up the lights. We're the ones who set up the cameras, the everything. And I realized that I could actually do it with less
Yeah.
people, but yeah, it's a huge adjustment though.
Yeah, that's what
The
Augie, when we interviewed Augie Alcacid, that's what he said as well. It's like he never realized, like, oh, I can actually set things up too, and I can be my own little tech producer and director. But Jed, especially for you, I mean, you're an amazing performer, and you're always booked. Like regardless of the season or the occasion, you always have your gigs lined up, your concerts, and your guestings and whatnot. But when lockdown happened, and even up to now, we're in this new normal, but it's basically normal now. Things are very different. Was it a big adjustment for you? Because I mean, obviously, certain live performances were put on hold or they were canceled. And then, you had all of these things lined up. Your calendar was ready. And then now it's like on a standstill. Was that a big adjustment for you? And if so, how did you go about it? How were you able to cope through everything?
Well, yeah, that's true. I was supposed to do a tour this 2020. I had a US tour, a Canadian tour, and a European tour
Oh,
in line with my 15th anniversary concert. But then, the pandemic happened. We canceled everything. We moved everything to a future date, and yeah, it was just like um, it was a surprise to us because like everything just stopped. Nothing to do. I couldn't go out of the house. I was so scared to go out of the house. But then I was just it felt empty without singing, without music.
mm,
So we found we looked for a way in order, like the first few weeks of pandemic. we tried to reach out, do stream shows, live shows online, and yeah, we just had to do something, keep ourselves like sane by keep I kept on singing. So we mounted my very first online concert. We called it New Normal, and then we just experimented. We didn't have any idea on how a digital concert would go. So that's what we
Mm,
did. We started out with New Normal, and then everybody else followed. So yeah, I just had to keep myself busy because I'm pretty used to working all the time, and then
yeah.
suddenly everything stopped. So
Mm,
yeah, it was crazy. But then eventually I kind of got adjusted to how the setup was.
that's
Galing,
good.
galing. It's running with it. That's what it's all about now. I have an important question that I've been wanting to save, by the end of the show, but I want to get this out of the way already. This is really, we've known you for years, Jed. I just want to ask, why do you have two Christmas trees? I just want to find out.
It's funny because these are recycled Christmas trees. I've always loved Christmas, and in the house, I just had to have Christmas tree in every area, like one in the dining room, one in the living room, one in my bedroom. I just love Christmas. I just love Christmas, and of course, when we set up the entertainment area, this was supposed to be my entertainment area, but then because of the pandemic, we set it up, we made it into a studio, and then yeah, we just decked all of these Christmas trees here. So yeah,
You deck the halls, man. Jed,
Hey!
so extra.
I have to ask, is your sweater two hands trying to connect?
Yes, it's the Michelangelo
Yeah.
painting,
Jed, did
right?
we plan this?
Oh my!
Oh,
Yeah,
wow!
Sorry,
we're twinning.
Oh!
announcers who are listening on air, you'll only get this if you actually head on over to Facebook or to YouTube. But Jed, are we meant to be best friends?
Oh,
Just
Oh,
that's
crazy.
right.
Oh my
oh.
God, I think I know where you
Oh, I didn't even
Grabe.
notice.
Alis na ako sa interview. Alis na ako. Yun na lang. Grabe.
No, but since we're on the topic of Christmas, Jed, of course, I mean, you're here. We're playing your song right now in the background. The monsters can hear it to those that are listening on radio. A very Merry Christmas. I mean, Jed, and we say this to all of the singers and artists that come on the show. This year was really a year where, music was even more important than it normally is for people. People are at home. Some people have lost their jobs. They lost all of these opportunities. They lost loved ones, and they really turned to music for comfort and for an escape. And being the artist that you are, to come out with a Christmas song like this, I mean, did you specifically plan to make it like, okay, for this year, it's been a horrible year. I'm gonna release a Christmas song. Was that the plan leading up to this? Or, were you thinking maybe like an album or a couple of singles? I mean, what was the plan for you music wise?
Well, the Christmas song was already a plan
Mhm.
to be released this year, but then it became more meaningful. It became more special because of what happened. Especially a few months back, people were saying, Christmas is gonna be so different. It's gonna be so different from the previous Christmases. And
Yeah.
some of even my friends would say na let's just make bawi next year, or let's not celebrate Christmas na lang, or So I said
Mm.
no, we should keep on, the more that we should celebrate Christmas. So that's also one reason why we released a very Merry Christmas, because this song is a very simple song actually, but it reminds us of how Christmas is supposed to be celebrated. We don't need all those parties. We don't need all those lot of gifts. It's basically spending time with your loved ones, and as simple as it can be, Christmas has to push through because we're alive, right? And
Yes.
yeah, that's the reason why we released a very Merry Christmas, to remind people that no matter what happens, Christmas has to push through, and it kind of gives you that happy feeling, and it kind of encourages you to come on, let's celebrate Christmas. So that's one reason why we pushed through for this song.
Well, on today's show, we are celebrating you since we last guested you at the station. You went on a journey of the World Championships of performing arts. So can you tell us what's that all about? I know it's like an Olympic style when it comes to
Yes.
singing and performing. So how did you stumble upon that competition and how was that experience like?
Well, it was in 2005 when I was invited to represent the Philippines, the World Championships of Performing Arts. It was the first time that the Philippines joined, and we didn't have any idea on how it worked. So
Mm,
I just went there in Hollywood, and then I competed, and then I won all the categories that I got into. Um, and since then, I was invited all the time, every year, to be a judge and to perform. And then after that, I said I have to have some to find some meaning in this in this competition. So um, from being a judge and a performer, we tried to be very active here in the Philippines to build Team Philippines every year. So now I'm already the regional director of Team Philippines, and then every year
wow.
we would do auditions and we would do training for singers, dancers, actors, models to represent the Philippines at the World Championships every year. So yeah, that has been a journey for me. It has been like in a way, my way of giving back to the young artists who was once I was once like them before. So I know how they feel. I know how difficult it is if you have the talent but you do not have the push or the opportunity. So we made it a point that the W Copa would be a stepping stone for these artists to be recognized. So that's a yearly thing.
And how does it go? I mean, when you say Olympic style event, meron ba yung parang pabiritan? Parang for the bigat category,
Yeah,
there is
it's like
a Colonel R&B category. What were the categories?
yeah, that's how it is. It's 1 week of competition, and there's a lot of categories. There's Broadway, there's pop, there's gospel, there's rock, there's
Wow.
even world. There's an open category, and it applies to everything like dancing, singing, and then there's models, there's actors. So it's an entire week of nonstop competition, and yeah, it's like an Olympic because you compete the pre-finals, then all the ones who win will compete in the semifinals, then the finals, and it's only 1 minute. You get 1 minute on stage to perform, so it's crazy.
I mean,
It's pretty fun.
What?
to wow it.
1 minute. Okay, I want to know because Jed, you've been in the industry for quite a while. I'm not saying you're old or anything. Okay, you're not. You are forever young, and
I'm
your music
experienced.
is wonderful. Yes, you are experienced. You are. That sounds wrong, also. But anyway,
Yeah.
Jed,
Oh.
I mean, when you entered this, knowing you're a very successful singer here and all over the world, were you still nervous? Were you like, did you have stage fright? Did you think, okay, like this is something new for me? I feel like a rookie again. I mean,
Uh-huh.
how did you feel throughout that entire process? Because that was a whole different thing, right?
Yeah, it's pretty nerve wracking. Actually, it's very scary, especially the fact that you know that it's a competition. You know that you have to represent the country. It's pretty scary, especially when you see the 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 talents before you performing, and I'm like, am I worthy? Am I worthy? And it's scary, but then the nerves never go away. Even until now, whenever I perform on TV, whenever I do concerts, even online performances, I still get scared. I still get nervous. But then after the first few seconds, it just kind of disappears, and I kind of get into the zone of just enjoying my performance.
Was there any routine that you do before you get on stage? Is there any do you embody, do you envision something that
Uh, well, technically, I supposed to be. I should vocalize, but I don't. I don't,
Oh my gosh.
because I don't because I kind of lose my voice when I do that, and then siguro I just know what to do. I should learn my words. I should learn the lyrics and be confident about it because that's one thing that kind of makes me uneasy if I'm not sure of what to do during a show. So
Mm,
I have to be very sure of my lyrics, the spiels that I have to say, of course the details, the people that I have to greet, because there was a time that I was in Vancouver, and then I said good evening Calgary, so I'm like I get so messed up. Yeah, so I have to be brief before I do a show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
But what?
I'm just curious because, with everything that's been going on now, you said earlier that you've been doing, a couple of digital shows, digital gigs, digital performances. I mean, would you say that in some way it might be a little bit more difficult than a live performance? Because the difference is when you go to a live performance, normally the stage is set up, the tech have everything
Mhm.
ready, right? But when it's digital, like you said, it's you. You learn to
Yes.
be the tech guy, right? So
Yes.
what what were the challenges you faced being such an experienced performer? Your bread and butter is really live performances. And then all of
Mhm.
a sudden, through a hoop, you're like, okay, now I got to do this digitally. What were the challenges and, the difficulties that you faced when you first started setting up for it?
Well, it was funny because we I kind of learned through the process. At first, the
Uh-huh.
first show I did, I was just using a phone. That's it, a phone, and then my iPad. And I would play my music there and just sing the phone. And then eventually, I discovered that I could use sound cards. And then I
Yeah.
discovered that I could hook up a camera to my laptop, and then hook up a speaker and use a microphone, and even have a set. Before I was just like in a corner of my room and then just do a live stream. But eventually, you get to learn and you make your show more realistic, like a real show, not just a normal streaming live that we do on Instagram or on social media. So we're just so lucky because everything is available. Even if we can't go out, we had the privilege of just ordering online. Let's order this cable. Let's order this ring light, and then until everything kind of just fell into place. Now I have two Christmas trees. I have stars in the back. I have light. Even the aurora borealis is behind me.
No.
Yeah, it's kind of extra.
Mamaya,
Yeah.
mamaya Carla, before he sings and he performs, may snow na babagsak.
I
Gaganon
know.
na eh. May
And then
spots na dyan.
these dancers will come out on the side dressed as like Santa.
Elves.
This is gonna be all thing. And okay, thanks for making us feel so prepared, Jed. Thank you so much. Okay,
Yeah.
Rico, you are the man in charge of fun questions.
Jed, when it came to all of this that you're doing, when you come, to recording a Christmas song, was it challenging to record a Christmas song? And how early were you guys recording
Yeah.
this? And what was the mood? What was the mindset while you were inside the studio recording a Christmas song?
Well, we recorded in October. I think we recorded in October, and then Um, no, actually, the song was already given to me way back, and this song is actually written by the guy who wrote "Sana Ngayong Pasko," Jimmy Borja,
Mm.
and he co-wrote it with a friend, si Amard Altoveros. And when they gave it to me, I said, "This is a very, very nice song, a very perfect Christmas song for the season." Because songs nowadays kind of they have the pop sound, the sound that's very R&B. But then this one, when I heard it, it's like, oh, this sounds traditional, and it
Mm.
can reach all ages. So when I got the song, I worked with Jonathan Manalo and team from Star Music. It was pretty fast. Actually, we just went to the studio. I already learned the song days before, and it was pretty quick. I guess I just had to have that proper mindset, like think happy, think Christmas, think Disney. So that was my mindset when I was
Oh,
recording the Christmas song. So yeah, it was fast. I think I did it in like 2 takes, I guess.
Mm.
wow.
So
Okay.
think happy,
Hashtag
think
all.
Disney.
I know. Think Disney. I mean, before we get to
Yeah.
the fun question, Jed, sorry, I just have to ask, since you're talking about you have to be in the right mindset, how did you get to that mindset? How were you able to push yourself to think Disney? Because this is a time where people are so, I don't know,
Down. Yeah.
yeah, easily persuaded to just think negatively, like
Mhm.
everyone, I mean, we try, everyone is trying their best, but when you watch the news and you just look outside, the fact that we can't even see all of our family and
Yeah,
friends, I mean, that's a Debbie Downer in itself, right? So, what are
that's
your
true.
tips? How were you able to really be like, no, you know what? I'm going into this. I'm gonna think
Mhm.
happy song. I'm gonna record a freaking Christmas song in the middle of a pandemic. How'd you do it?
But yeah, it's well, it's pretty difficult. That's true. But then I guess I went back to the real reason why I'm here. I mean, I'm a singer, I'm a performer, and it's not just because I just want to, showcase my voice, my pipes. It's more of a responsibility now. So I kind of went into that zone of thinking I should use myself as an instrument because that's true.
Mm,
People see a lot of negativity on TV, on social media, and of course, like the pandemic and all. It's all sad news.
Yeah.
Um, so I had to force myself to really use my my name, my status to be an encouraging factor to make people spread the happiness, to spread the kindness through my songs. So that's what happened to me. Kasi during the pandemic, I also kind of got into that black hole of being so depressed, so down
mm,
because everything stopped. I didn't have work, I didn't have shows, and I couldn't visit my family back in the province. But then as what you mentioned earlier, music really played a big deal to lifting spirits. So I discovered BTS, and then
mm. BTS,
yeah,
yeah.
I discovered them, and then listening to their songs, I kind of became it lifted up my spirits. I learned how their journey, how difficult they the difficulty they went through, and then the music, how they write their songs, and I got so inspired. I got so inspired, and it kind of lifted me out of that hole. And then, so I said, I'm gonna do this. I'll be, an instrument to lift up people from their depression or their sadness. So, yeah, it was a good experience for me.
I
Hmm.
mean, can you imagine Jed Madela singing a BTS song, dude?
I
Done.
know
Oh yeah,
the art
That's what it's
music
about.
right now. They were like, "Oh yeah, we got
Right?
another one. We converted
oh
another
yeah.
one."
I love them.
Dynamite.
I love them.
Right?
Dynamite. Yeah,
Paris is so cute. He's like, "I discovered BTS." It's like so casually. It's like, okay,
Right?
yeah. It was
that's
because
true.
of Dynamite, and then because yeah, you mentioned the army, and then I would receive messages from them nonstop. Please cover this. Please do a cover of that. So I had to do the cover of Dynamite. It's on my YouTube channel. It's so funny. So yeah, the fans, the armies are really amazing.
Yeah,
Or,
they are.
or,
Oh my god, covered it.
time for some fun questions with Jed. For those that are tuning in, they have Jed Madela. He's joining us with a couple of Christmas trees at his home. He has a very merry Christmas song that is out to season our holiday season. Now, Jed, first money you earned in showbiz. What was your first major purchase with that first paycheck?
Okay. As far as I could remember, I bought these pair of really expensive boots that
Okay.
yeah, during the time it looked cool, but now I regret buying them because they were like cowboy boots. So I'm
Oh
like,
my
where am I gonna wear them now? Because before I saw them, I'm like, wow, it's so nice, so expensive. I think this is the in thing because it's expensive. And then it was like how much? It was like around 15,000 pesos during the time. So it's like, okay, I'm gonna buy this because this is cool, this is hip, and then now I couldn't wear it because I look stupid wearing it.
god. You gave us the
Cowboy
best
boots.
answer. Thank God. Because when we ask other artists to like, oh, I bought equipment or whatever, you're like, listen, I bought cowboy boots.
You're right, cowboy boots, Marlboro cowboy boots.
Jen, oh my God, I gotta see these boots someday. Okay, more
Yeah,
fun questions.
I'm gonna post them later.
I mean, Jed, you have a ton of fans who love you and have supported you all these years. What is a crazy fan experience that you can share with us that you will never forget? It will
Oh my,
stick with you for the rest of your life. I mean, whether it's good or bad, the craziest fan experience that you can share
oh
on
my god.
radio, by the way. We're live on
Okay,
radio.
okay, filtered. Oh because there are a lot of fans who really are into their idols whenever they're there, and they kind of go crazy. There was one fan, and she's pretty nice, but then one day I my disclaimer, diba? She's pretty nice, but one day, um, she would always go to my shows everywhere, even out of town. I would always see her, And even in Baguio, even in Cagayan de Oro, I don't know how she would just be there. And
Mm,
then one day she would always go to my show with a huge bag. And I was like, wow, that's so nice. And then she would go to me and then ask for a photo and an autograph, and then she would ask for my water bottles. Is this paano na lang daw, souvenir. I'm like, okay.
mm,
And then she would put it in her bag, and she shows me her bag, and there's like a lot of water bottles with dates.
mm.
She would keep all my water bottles from my mall shows, from my concerts, and she would bring it all over. And she has a huge picture frame in her bag with me and her on the photo. So it was kind of weird because why would you bring empty, semi empty water bottles with you? There was like Jed Madela, um, date, and then there's this mall, and then mall show for what album. So yeah, that was kind of weird. But then
Crazy.
I
Superstar
I
level.
I have no words. Yeah, that's not so stupid. Okay, what kind of does that?
And there will be another Jed Madela in every city. She's actually cloning you right now.
No, what if she's
oh,
actually a
yeah,
study
right.
Yeah.
cloning you? Ah, that's
Oh
a very
my.
interesting story. Thanks for sharing that, Rico.
Creating a BTS of
I
different Jed Madelas. You know what I mean? That's the goal that they're doing. You know. Okay. When was the last time you you were happy, and when was the last time you got mad?
Uy, very showbiz.
Okay. When was the last time I? Oh, last night actually. Yesterday, I was so happy because for the very first time I got to perform live on stage.
Wow.
Uh, but of course, with no audience. It was still on camera. But then I performed for a press conference for a concert. I'm doing a New Year countdown, so I was there for a press con. I was on stage, fully, made up. Because normally, when I do a show, it's only here going up
Yeah.
that I made up. So if you're gonna pan the camera, I'm in shorts and I'm in
There's-
slippers. But
Yeah.
then yesterday I was fully with a full outfit, and then I had the entire theater to myself. I was so happy because it kind of I missed performing live. So yeah, that was one of the happiest moments of late. And siguro the moment that I got mad, ano ba? I rarely get mad, but then when I'm mad kasi I just keep quiet. But then um I don't know. I don't remember getting really, really upset because I rarely get mad.
He doesn't look
Yeah.
like the type. You really don't. You don't look like the type who gets upset.
Look
Like,
at a nice
hey,
dude.
you just
When I'm upset, I'd rather be quiet. I just lock myself
yeah.
in the room and be quiet. Yeah, I'm not the type that no, no. I'm just the relaxed one.
Oh, he's such a little bean. Okay, I mean, since we're on the topic of holiday, what are your holiday plans, Jed? Like, I know things are different this
Uh,
year. So, I mean, do you have anything planned or set up already? What are you going to be up to this Christmas?
This Christmas, oh well, of course, I can't go home to Iloilo. Normally, I would be already in Iloilo by this time and spending time with my mom and my dad and my family, my siblings, and my pamangkins. But now, since it's gonna be here, I'll be spending Christmas here. Maybe I'll just set up, a virtual Noche Buena for all of us. And, they have their Noche Buena in Iloilo. I have mine here, and then we just, celebrate it together. But then, and open gifts together, say the family
Oh,
prayer together. And one thing that I'm really gonna miss is, of course, singing in church, because
Mm.
every Christmas Eve I always sing in church. So I guess that's basically the plan. Just home and spend time with the family via
How
online
about for
streaming.
2021? What are you excited about? For all the fans as well, for Jed Madela. What are you guys? What are they should be excited about for you?
Well, 2021, I'm very excited for the vaccine. That the vaccine. No, but seriously, we are planning another. We're pushing through with the tours. Next
Mm.
year, will probably mid or the third or fourth quarter of next year.
Mhm.
We're already talking about the US, the Canada, and the European tours for my anniversary concert, and we are planning, just going back into the live scene. And
Mhm.
another TV show is coming up pretty soon, but of course I can't announce it yet. So abangan na lang nila yon. And yeah, the same. I still do ASAP. I still do Showtime. Yeah, that's it.
Jed, speaking of Showtime, we all know that you're a horado as well.
Mhm.
Any tips you could give to people out there who would join the singing contest, who would join a competition na parang for them to win because you're a Hall of
Yeah.
Famer. Do you think
Yeah.
you know what I mean? You have any tips that you could share?
For them to win. Okay. Well, first, of course, whenever people approach me, what do I need to do in order for me to get into tawag ng tanghalan? First, I tell them, you must have the talent first. You have to have the talent first, because
Mm,
sometimes there are people who are only encouraged by their friends or their family na sige na, go join ka, but then they actually don't have the talent or the love for the for performing.
mm,
So first, of course, you have to have the talent, and then once you get through audition and you're in tawag ng tanghalan or in any competition, take away that thought of yung
mm,
paganda ng boses, because it's already a given. The reason why you're there because you passed auditions. The
mm,
only thing that you should focus on now is the actual performance. How am I going to capture the attention of the judges, and how am I going to leave a mark with the
mm,
judges and with the audience? So that's one thing that I always tell the performers. Um, don't be too conscious anymore of how you sound, because it's a given. You already have the talent. It's more of the total package. How am I going to look? How am I going to leave an impression? And how am I
Mhm.
going to, capture the attention of the people watching me? So that's what I tell them. And since it's also limited to a certain amount of time, so I tell them,
mm,
enjoy every moment on stage. You do not have any um, you don't have the luxury of time to worry and think too much. Just go out there and have fun. Yeah, because
Yeah.
you won't bring
mm.
that back anymore.
I mean, imagine enjoying the moment, right? Have
Yeah,
fun, go out there, and that 1 minute, that 2 minutes, get you to stardom. Sana wag magong. That's the main thing. But
ayun,
once again,
oo. Sana wag magong.
di ba? But Chad, I got one more question. Carla, I have one more. Just how do you take care of your voice? What's that secret that you have to take care of your voice? Because the back to back to back to back shows, and
Mhm.
you
Yeah.
still maintain to perform in the world class level.
Well, it's all about discipline, I guess. It's all about discipline, and you just have to rest your voice, not abuse it. And once you feel tired, just stop, just rest and stop. Don't push it, because I personally experienced already that moment when I said, kaya ko to, I can do this. Come on, let's do back to back concerts and all. And then suddenly, just in a snap, I lost my voice. I lost my voice for 3 months because of laryngitis. I couldn't even speak. I couldn't even talk. So since then I already disciplined myself na the amount of shows should be just this much, and when I feel tired I should stop, because I'm the type who can't say no sometimes. Jed, can you do this, can you do that? So I always say yes, and to the point that I get exhausted, and to the point that I get burnt out, to the point I get tired, my voice gets really messed up. So I should learn how to say no. I should always get enough rest. So that's
Mhm.
pretty simple, but then difficult to do sometimes. So rest, water, and be in the tip top shape of health.
I
Yeah.
mean,
I
learning
also
how to say no.
also,
That's
yeah,
about it.
also saying no. That,
Learn
I
to
mean,
say
that
no.
applies not just for singing and work, but
Mhm.
that applies in life. Like, you got to give yourself a break as well. You can't always say yes and
Mhm.
be there for everyone 100% of the time, because then who's going to take care of you, right?
Yeah,
Ooh,
that's
Jed, before we let you go, before we let you, I don't want, he's like, so bring all the good vibes. Jed,
true.
message to everybody that's tuned in
Mhm.
right now, that's watching, fans, supporters, as well as just all of the monsters, because this is a really difficult time. The holidays
Mhm.
are already difficult for some people in general, But to put a
Yes.
pandemic on top of that, it just makes things a little
Ah,
bit more unbearable. So, what's your
yeah.
message for everybody tuned in now?
Well, to everybody watching right now, especially to the monsters out there, we can get through this. We've been experiencing this for many months already, and see, we're still here. It's because we can do this. All you have to do is just be extra careful with what we do. Be extra safe. It's okay to be very OA when it comes to being safe and being conscious of health. And
Mm,
it's all about mindset again. It's all about mindset. Choose happiness, choose to love, choose to spread kindness. And if one thing makes you feel negative, if one thing makes you feel cranky, take yourself out of that. If social media, what you see on social media kind of makes you feel down, leave for a while, go and find a friend to talk to. And it's all about the right choices that we make. And think happy thoughts and put up Christmas trees, put up decorations in your house. It doesn't have to be that lavish. Just surround yourself with beautiful things, beautiful thoughts, and beautiful people, because everything's just gonna be okay. We are going to get through this. And this is the only part that I want to say, think positive. Right?
yeah, think
Just thought. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, think positive. And yeah, again, choose to be kind and choose to be happy. And of
mm,
course, I want to make a message. I want to give a message to all the bashers out there. Guys, come on, let's take a break. Take a break. Come on, because I there's a lot of people who do not have anything to do. They just sit down and see.
yes,
They're gonna look and sino na naman titirahin ko dito? Sino na ibabash ko dito? That's their job. So come on, guys, take a break. It's
yeah.
Christmas. So
Jed,
let's spread kindness.
Jed, sorry na. I will take a break. Sige, pasensya
Ah,
na.
And then
thank you so much.
isa pa pala, I just wanna also remind you guys, look for that child in you, 'di ba?
Yeah.
Children don't have any problems. Life is simple. Look for the child in you, and that's why I also wanna insert something. I got into toy designing.
What?
Yeah, yeah, I got into toy designing. As you can see, these guys over here are toys that I designed. So look, it's an art toy collectible. His name is Voodoo, and this is my very first art toy. Yeah, there you go. His name is Voodoo. He is a
Jed,
self.
you're so talented. My gosh.
Wow, look at that.
Thank you so much. It's a self character. I used to just doodle and draw and sketch him, um, and then some of my friends told me, "Why don't you make it into a toy?" So I made 50 of this guy, and he's already sold out though. But then
Wow.
we made another version and another color. So there's the orange version. Yeah.
Oh my
So
How how can they buy? How can people buy if ever? I know it's sold out, but how can they pre-order?
yeah, they can order this version, or there's a couple more pieces for this version. It's all on my social media account. Just go to Jed Madela official on Instagram and message me there, and you guys can check out if you can grab a piece of this.
Yeah,
Woo!
that's a great
Nice,
Christmas gift, actually. It
nice,
really
nice.
is, especially
Yeah.
who loves toys or who loves Jed. I mean, they get two in one. It's a toy made by Jed. Diba? That's like the
Yeah.
perfect Christmas gift. Jed, invite everybody, please, to request for your latest
Yes.
Christmas song. Invite
Uh,
everybody to listen to it, request for it here on the Monster. Go, Jed.
yes. So all monsters there out there, please do a request for this song. A very Merry Christmas. Let's add happiness to our lives right now, and just listen to the song. I bet um Voodoo that you're gonna be okay. You're gonna feel good after listening to the song. I also want to thank, of course, Monster. Thank you guys for promoting the song, and of course the Star Music, Jonathan Manalo, Amard Altaveras, and Jimmy Borja for trusting me with this beautiful song. Please request for it, guys, and Christmas gift nyo na sa akin yan. Thank you so much. Thank
Aw,
you,
thank you,
There you
Jed.
have it.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
thank
Thank you
you.
for joining us on the show, and we are excited for your toy collection. We're excited for 2021. We're going to see you all over the world, representing the
Yeah,
Filipinos and representing everybody. Jed Madela, ladies and gentlemen, round of applause once again.
Thank you,
thank
Jed.
you.
Thank you. Take
Thank you
care.
so much. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. All
Bye.
right.
Oh,
Carla.
what a
Wow.
guy! I love him. I want to
Right?
shoot him down and then just keep him in my pocket. Plus, we're twinning. I mean, we are twinning. That was
I,
just so
I
cool.
love the twinning part because I was like, whoa, oo nga, no? Because I
Diba?
thought
I
you were
was
really just
staring at him
curious
so
about his
hard
shirt.
there. I was like, is he wearing are we matching? He's in a pod. But yeah, thank you, Monsters, for joining us once again.
Oh,
Jennifer's latest song, A Very Merry Christmas, is out. You are listening to it right now. After we go live on Facebook, I'm going to play it out for the Monsters listening on air. What a great show. What a great guy. I hope you
you know,
guys enjoyed it. He had a lot of very good little nuggets of wisdom that you're just like, yes, honey, I'm taking that with me this Christmas and into the future.
and you got that great guest today that's sort of like, alam mo yung lalagay mo sa speed dial mo sa phone.
Yes.
Na
Yes.
anytime you feel a little down or you feel happy about life, you want to share it with him. He's that type of friend that you want. You know what I mean?
He is.
And of course the creativity with the toys and everything, that's cool as well. It just goes to show that Jed wants to tell the world, you can't kill my vibe. That's what it's about. It's all about having not one, but two. We're doing it
I
at the same
aspire to
time.
be on the level that Jed is, where he doesn't care about the bashers. He's living his best life and he's making toys on the side. I told you, he's freaking Father Christmas. Oh my God,
Dude!
what to do? He's making
That's
toys as well. Oh, but yeah, thank you again, once again, to all of the
okay.
monsters locked in over on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. Thank you so much for joining us. He's Rico Robles live.
She is Carla Aguas on air. We continue with a Riot Wednesday music. Do send in your request at RX931. Tag somebody on this video who needs a
All right,
little
listen,
Christmas
just like what Rico
feeling.
said, you got us over here. Oh my goodness. I'm going to play this out for you guys one more time because I need to. Okay. I